For the day's best sports shows, tune in for the biggest personalities on the biggest stories. Don't forget, Carol Owens will be in studio tomorrow right here on Undisputed. Looking forward to that, and I'm sure we'll ask him about those Patriots. They're favored in the Super Bowl, but they've been using the underdog card throughout the playoffs. Brady has already said, quote, "Everybody thinks we suck." And Julian Edelman was selling bet against us shirts. Edelman emphasized that underdog point in the AFC Championship game when he yelled in Brady's face after a touchdown, quote, "You're too effing old. You're too old." I tried to sell it as well as he did, but, I mean,
that worked.
Video was great. Shannon.
Yes.
What do you make of this?
Man, this is so played out, Skip. I'm so tired of this. Now, here's a team that prides itself is shutting out the outside noise. Clearly, they don't shut out the outside noise. And you're not the underdog. You've gone to 9 straight AFC title games. You find yourself in 4 of the last Super Bowls. How are you the underdog? Nobody's buying that.
Well, they were the betting
Oh,
underdog.
stop it, Skip.
Well, they were.
So the one time, so let me get this straight. One time in 955 games, they're the underdog. And so now everybody's like, oh my God, they're the hope. Skip, this is not the U.S. hockey against the Soviets in 1980 in Lake Placid. It's not that. So they need to stop this. I get it, having a chip on you. But let me ask you a question. Where was he shouting when they played Tennessee? Where was he shouting when they played Miami? I didn't see any of this in Jacksonville. What about Detroit?
Who's in the Super Bowl?
That's my point. Oh, now you're too old. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear any of that, no losses.
I heard it being shouted at me across the table after those losses. I heard the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe and the Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson basically say he's just too old.
It ain't about me, about him.
Huh?
I would yell it into the microphone, though.
It's a lot about you. You realize you are partly responsible for this.
Rob is.
Huh?
Rob is? You take no responsibility?
Rob Parker?
Yep.
You guys are in the Hall of Fame, both of you.
Rob,
you both said it.
Mexico. I ain't saying nothing, but I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's overdone. Is it a little corny? Is it a little...
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's almost lame what they're doing. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But when Tom Brady said everybody thinks we suck, he believes that. And I think a whole lot of people thought they sucked going into the playoffs, including you.
Well, just what you
Right?
said that last year when Lane Johnson, a lot of people think Bill Belichick is smug. A lot of people think Bill Belichick, the way they run their thing is not right. But you got tired of hearing it. It's lame. Okay, I'm tired of hearing it. It's lame. Go play football.
What did I tell you about Julian Edelman after I heard about selling the shirts? I said, how can you do that? Because you've taken a battle cry, bet against us. It's like a challenge. I dare you to bet against us. And now you're marketing your battle cry on the week of the AFC Championship game on, I don't know if they're T-shirts or shirts or whatever they are, but you're trying to sell them on your own website.
Yes.
And you even suggested Bill Belichick might have said something about that to Julian Edelman, like you better cool that.
Yeah. Skip, look, I get it. Because there are a lot of things that's said and guys use it to motivate them and but it never, for me, what someone said, it never came out. See, my job was not to prove you wrong. My job was to prove me right. Because I know what I had put into it in the offseason. I know the way I prepared myself. I know the meeting time. I know what the effort that I had put into it.
Yep.
So I was cool. Say what you want to say. But you know what? We're going to play the game. You know, battle crowd, you're too old. Okay.
Okay, but what did Julian Edelman do on Sunday in Kansas City? He backed it up, right?
Yeah.
Again, I thought he dropped or failed to catch the second Brady interception, but he caught 7 balls out of 10 targets for 96 yards, and he caught 2 big ones in overtime. The first 2 3rd and 10s went to Julian Edelman. So at least he walked the talk.
Yeah.
The bet against us, he came to play and he showed you I can still do that.
Yes.
And so he's just trying to inspire his 41-year-old quarterback, because you can attest to this. It's harder and harder to dredge up the motivation when you've been to 9 AFC. Is that what it is now? 9
straight.
Yeah, 9 straight. It's hard to keep dredging up the emotion, because football is an emotion-driven game.
Yes.
You know, you better be really ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And oftentimes, the team readier to play, just mentally, psychologically, they win the football game, because they can, like my Cowboys, for whatever reason, they weren't ready to play in the first 2 quarters at L.A. Coliseum, right?
You can motivate by fear.
Yeah.
You can motivate by money.
Yeah.
All of those things will come and go.
All right.
Only self-motivation.
Okay.
So, however Tom Brady, Julian Edelman saying that, Tom Brady has bigger things that motivates him.
Okay, but he needs to hear through the grapevine, his own grapevine, through his eyes and ears, that Shannon Sharpe thinks he's too old to be playing. That Eric Dickerson goes so far as to call him an old-ass man who should have retired.
I don't think he's too old to be playing. I said he didn't deserve to go to the Pro Bowl, and he didn't have a top 5 season. Now, age had nothing to do with that.
Well, I think you do think age had something to do with that because,
okay, then.
Well, when we first started Undisputed, you said this year would be his last year, and now you've amended it to next year.
I was counting on Coach Belichick getting his wishes. But since Coach Belichick didn't get his wishes.
So Tom Brady won again. He won on the field, and he won in the front office, right?
So 20 is it.
20 is it?
20 is it.
It is not going to be
I'm putting up 15 cases.
Really? Well, you're going to just flood me with doubt.
No.
Do you know how many of those cases Tom Brady has won me?
He won you a bunch.
Like a swimming pool, seriously. A Bel Air swimming pool full of dudes.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tom Brady.
Well, I get half of them back if I win 15 in one fell swoop.
Yeah? Well, how are you going to do that?
When Tom Brady retires after year 20.
After you're 20? I'm willing to take that bet.
We're going to have to wait a while for that.
Might get about 2 or 3 on their Super Bowl.
You think so? Well, guess who you're going to have to take?
Ain't no problem with that.
Not the Patriots.
Ain't no problem.
Yeah.
People are sick of the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, but Tom doesn't care. The players don't care. Even some NFL
they
players.
care because it fuels them.
It's a mentality of we don't care because we're going to do it again.
Right.
And who cares if they're underdogs?
Right.
I mean, they're just going to find a way to get it done. But what I was getting at is even an NFL players are sick of it. And one guy